Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome to another post-draft rebuild. Previously, we took on the #1 pick in the draft, the Chicago Bears taking Caleb Williams. We ended up getting a championship for them, and the Bears fans are happy. Now, we go down the line. We do the #2 overall pick, which was held by the Washington Commanders. They end up selecting. There was a bit of a debate between, well, I guess it depends on who you want to believe in the media. There was a little bit of a debate between Jayden Daniels and Drake May. That is true. There was some controversy. Who they're going to take? Some people think it was always going to be Jayden Daniels. There was never anybody thinking it was going to be Drake May. Other people think it was only ever going to be Drake May, and they're surprised it was Jayden Daniels. Depend on who you want to believe. There was some controversy. There was some debate. But they ended up taking Jayden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner out of LSU. So that's what we're going to be rebuilding today, the Washington Commanders with Jayden Daniels. We're going to be continuing on to this. We got the Patriots coming up next, which is my favorite team. They took Drake May at #3. We're going to do the Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix because that's just the craziest trade I've ever, or the craziest draft pick I've ever seen in my life. They took him at #8. We're going to do J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. They took him at, what did they take J.J.? Was that 10? No, that was Bo Nix, I think, at 10 with the Broncos. J.J. went sometime to the Vikings. I can't remember exactly right now. But also, we're going to do Bo Nix and the Vikings. So we've got a few more rebuilds to do. Today is the Commanders, and today is Jayden Daniels. Hope you guys go and enjoy. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get Jayden Daniels and the Commanders back to relevance. Here is the post-draft Commanders roster. Now, these rosters I downloaded from the community tab. They have the rookies. This is the same roster that I used with the Bears and Caleb Williams. So if you don't like anything that this roster has or doesn't have, get mad at the creator of the roster. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make this roster. And this roster is technically not finished fully. It's got the first 5 full rounds done, and then maybe halfway through the 6th. It's getting very close to being done, but we do not have all of it just yet. But it should have the most of the main guys that you want to see. So this is the main guy that you care about. Jayden Daniels, 23-year-old rookie out of LSU. He had normal development coming into this because when you make the rosters, you can't give creative players development traits. But I feel like he's going to come into Madden 25 or whatever they end up calling this game. He's going to have star development. I think all the rookie quarterbacks, except for I don't think Bo Nix will have a development trait. I doubt that J.J. McCarthy would have a development trait. I doubt that Michael Penix would have a development trait. I think Caleb Williams has superstar. I talked about this in the Bears video. I think Caleb Williams gets superstar. I think Jayden Daniels and Drake May both have star. And then I think the rest have normal. That's kind of my guess, pre-Madden 25 guess, or pre-next Madden 25 or Madden game guess for these rookies, what their development traits will be. But I did go and give him star because, like I said, that's what I think he's going to have. So Jayden Daniels, very good arm, very raw prospect. Kind of doesn't really take his own health into mind when he's running the football. I've seen some highlight packages of him getting absolutely cooked at LSU last season by scrambling out of the pocket and taking some massive shots that he should not take. So we'll see if he develops a more conscious awareness of his own health and body, because he'll learn very quickly you can't take a lot of those hits in the NFL. Just ask Justin Fields, just ask Cam Newton, just ask Lamar Jackson. You cannot take a lot of those hits in the NFL and stay healthy. So we'll see what happens with Jayden Daniels in real life, but in the game, he looks very good. He's got already really solid accuracies. His throw power is very good. His throw on the run's very good, and he's already a 75 overall, almost a 76 overall. So he's also got very good speed, as you can see. So Jayden Daniels, we're already in a really, really good spot with him as our starting quarterback, our franchise guy. The rest of the team is in a little bit of a bad situation. The offensive line's decent. We've got Biotish and you got Cosme, but the offensive line pretty much as a whole needs a revamp. Same thing with tight end. Zach Ertz is just not going to get it done. He's just too old. Running back, we've got Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler, who they brought in free agency. It's okay, I guess. Cool, whatever. Obviously, the piece de resistance is Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry at number 1 wide receiver, and Jahan Dotson, very good as well. But Terry's the number 1. Left tackle absolutely needs to be upgraded. We can't have a 59 overall start there for too much longer. On the defense, and you may be wondering, Juice, why is there rookies that have hidden development traits that were in the last year's class? Because this is combining both classes from this past year and obviously the 2024 draft class. It's not going to be perfect until we get to the new game. So you just got to deal with it. But the defensive line is actually decent. We've got some good players, although the defensive line was better, but they traded away Chase Young during the season. They traded away Montez Sweat during the season, so we don't have those guys anymore. But we do have Jonathan Allen, who's still really, really good. Deron Payne, who's very good. Armstrong, who is this Dorrance Armstrong? It is. I don't even really know how he's going to fit into the team. Maybe he develops into something. I don't know. We've seen crazier things happen in some of these rebuilds, so maybe he turns into something good. Who knows? We've got Emmanuel Forbes, is going to be very, very good. Benjamin St. Juste could be good. Who knows? Mikey Sanderstill from Michigan is got potential. We'll see how he develops. He's only normal development here. I don't think he's going to have a development trait in the new game, so I didn't give him one. They did bring in Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. Who knows how those guys are going to do? Both a little bit older, both slightly past their prime. Bobby Wagner's probably going to put up a lot of tackles, but how good is he going to be? He's 88 overall already. Jamin Davis I like. Very good. We've got Jertavius Martin, who I moved to free safety instead of strong safety, so we'll see how he does. We've got Jeremy Chin. It's a weird team. Cleveland Farrell's also here. It's a very weird team. It's in a weird spot, but we're going to try to figure this out. We are going to try to figure this out as best as possible. We're going to run auto-generated draft classes so that we can just not have knowing. I don't know who is good and who's not good. And also, since this is the previous rosters, obviously, the draft classes or the draft picks are not taken into consideration. So we have all of the draft picks that we had for 2024. So, like, this first-round pick is the pick they used on Jayden Daniels, but since it doesn't update, and I'm not using the Start Today stuff, we have this pick again. So you get the drift. It's very easy concept to understand. You should be able to get it. One other thing that I want to talk about, if you expect realism, you should know this by now. The World of Juice channel and the World of Juice family of channels does not delve into the world of realism. So if you're expecting realism, sorry about your luck. You go find other YouTube videos that have realism. There's plenty of them. Every other YouTube channel does realism. So if you want a little bit of craziness, if you want to see some possible, I'm not guaranteeing craziness, but if you want to see possibilities of craziness, this is the channel for you. So, just wanted to put that out there. If I want to trade for whoever, if I want to trade for Micah Parsons, I'm going to trade for Micah Parsons. It's just I know it's not realistic, but I'm going to do it. Because it's fun, and it's interesting, and it's a video game. You never see that happen in real life. Or maybe, I guess you could. Realism is a very weird thing for me, because you may think one thing is realistic, like, oh, the Falcons would never take a quarterback at number 8 overall. That's not realistic. And yet they did. They took Michael Penix at 8. So realism's not real. That's a very meta way to say that. Realism is not real. Realism is only real to in your perception of your mind, basically. Oh, we're getting really like spiritual, and we're getting really technical with this. So basically, I didn't realize I was going to go into a huge rant today. Realism is only real to a certain extent, basically. So let's say that the Bengals have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Oh, you would never think in a million years that they would get rid of those guys or trade those guys. And they probably won't. But they're not untouchable forever. Jamar Chase is going to need a huge contract. Joe Burrow is making a lot of money. T. Higgins is probably getting traded soon. Or maybe he's not. I don't know. Realism doesn't exist, basically. Realism is what you think should happen. But anything can happen. Nobody thought that Saquon Barkley would ever leave the Giants to go to the Eagles. That's not realistic. If you would have done that in a Madden rebuild video last year, people would have laughed you out of the building. They would have been in your comment section saying, like, that's not realistic. But it happened. Saquon Barkley is a Philadelphia Eagle now. It's like, realism is a weird thing. Realism doesn't exist to a certain extent. So, rant over. You get what I'm trying to say. Realism is a very hard thing to describe, but you get what I'm trying to say. I say all that to say there's not going to be any of that in this video, or any of my videos. So don't come to the channel thinking that's what's going to be. All that done, it's time to simulate the first season of Jayden Daniels' career. We are going to stick with the playbooks that we are given. I'm going to probably change the offensive scheme just to fit Jayden Daniels a little bit better. So we're going to run West Coast power run. Base 4-3 is probably what we're going to do because it's 88. Yeah, it's 88%. So we're going to keep Washington's playbooks for now. If we need to down the line a couple seasons later, change that to maybe give us that extra boost to a championship, we'll certainly consider that and probably even do it. But for right now, we'll rock with the Commanders playbooks for Season 1 and probably Season 2 as well. It's time to simulate year number 1 of Jayden Daniels' career. If anything crazy happens, I'll bring you guys back in, but I don't think anything is going to be crazy unless, I guess, Jayden Daniels gets a breakout quarterback scenario and then gets it and gets superstar development. That's really the only thing that would bring us back in. But if not, then I'll see you guys at the end of the year, and I probably most likely will see you guys at the end of the year. We finished up year number 1 of Jayden Daniels' tenure here in Washington, and we went 10-7, a lot better than I would have expected, especially with the team put around him. But I guess Jayden Daniels is just him. He just got it done. Let's take a look at his numbers. 3,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's a good rookie season from Jayden Daniels. He's also got quarterback of the future, day 1 starter. Those are the tags that he's got on him. That's pretty obvious. But 70% completion percentage, that's a really, really good season from Mr. Daniels. Austin Eckler, his first season in Washington, had a decent year, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's pretty good. And Daniels on the ground, 3,300 yards. 32 yards, and then 2 touchdowns as well. Through the air, it seems like Terry McLaurin was the safety blanket, as expected. When you have one of the best receivers in the league, you throw to him a lot. 89 catches, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's not too shocking whatsoever. And then defensively, Bobby Wagner did what I expected him to do, and that's lead the team in tackles with 115. Davis had 114. Chin had 90. Martin had 73. Luvu had 70. Jonathan Allen, he led the team in tackles for loss with 15. Luvu had 14, 13 for Deron Payne, 11 for Cleveland Farrell. Not what I expected, but he looks like he had a pretty solid year, judging by his standards, I guess. 4 sacks for Allen led the team, 3.5 for Payne and Armstrong. Farrell had 3, 2.5 for Frankie Luvu, yada, yada, and more yada. Okay, it is playoff time for the good guys. Here we go. Are you ready? Commanders, Niners, wildcard round. Is Madden going to pull a classic Madden on me and make us lose? No, we win 35-14 over the Niners? Okay. Maybe we got a little bit of that magic. Maybe we got a little bit of that spiciness in this playoff round. Let's see. Taking on the Eagles, who won the division over us, we lose. Okay, so that's where they give it to me. But that's understandable. We shouldn't have ever beaten the Eagles, not in year number 1 at least. So we do lose pretty heavily, actually, 31-17 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Understandable, but hey, we got a playoff win. Jayden Daniels is now a playoff winning quarterback in the NFL in his first season. That's pretty good progress for a young kid. It is the Eagles and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I guess we'll see which bird is superior. It is going to be the Eagles. 21-14 over Baltimore, so Lamar Jackson still can't get a championship. Even with Derrick Henry out of the team, he still can't get a ring. Poor guy. But Jalen Hurts now does. Jalen Carter must have had a forced fumble or something. He wins Super Bowl MVP. Dak Prescott, because Madden loves the Cowboys, wins league MVP. Harbaugh's Coach of the Year. Lamar Jackson Player of the Year. TJ Watt also the Player of the Year. Then Josh Downs wins Rookie of the Year, and Jared Verse gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. Yes, we got 2 classes competing for Rookie of the Year. It's whatever. It is whatever. We don't win Offensive Rookie this year with Jayden Daniels. That's okay, because he still had a very, very good year regardless. So let's move to re-signing period and figure out. I've already done a little bit of it when I was doing the Week 11 stuff. I already did a little bit of renegotiating. I brought back like Austin Eckler on a 3-year deal. I brought back a couple other guys. I can't remember exactly who I brought back. We will accept the option on Jamin Davis. Frankie Luvu is the only guy that I'm not sure I want to bring back, and that's because I would bring him back if he wasn't asking for $72 million over 4 years. I don't want to do that. He's good. He's got star development now. He's good. But that's, I think, a little bit excessive for Frankie Louvu. Like, his cap hit's going to be far too high for the production that Frankie Louvu would give. So I think we can find a better, cheaper is the more important word, replacement for Frankie Louvu. He served a good purpose. He played good for a year. Any development trade upgrades, Jayden Daniels stays at star development. That's a little upsetting, but it's whatever. Nobody on offense changes. Stromberg revealed to be star. That's not surprising. Defensively, Bobby Wagner goes up to star. Okay, cool. But he's already down to an 82. Forbes has star. I don't think anybody's gone up. I think everybody either is revealed to have a development trait or has gone up to star like Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu, but nobody else. Farrell stays. Jonathan Allen's already X Factor. Nobody else moves up. So not a lot of change. Not a lot of change in the development trait progression this first season, but that's okay. We are going to let Frankie Louvu go, and maybe we can go into him in free agency and get him on a cheaper deal. That's also possible. It's not just because we let him go and didn't re-sign him doesn't mean we're not going to get him. Or we go all in on Josh Allen. That's also an option, because here's Frankie Louvu. He doesn't want to be here. And we can just go all in on Josh Allen, who does kind of want to be here. So, 5-year deal on Josh. I would much rather have his cap hit than Frankie Louvu's cap hit. So, we'll offer him this contract. That puts us at top. It doesn't guarantee we're going to get him, but it does put us at the top. We're not going to get a quarterback. Probably not going to get a running back. Wide receiver. I could use an extra one, but I don't want to go for Amari Cooper. We're already spending a lot of money on what's-his-face, Josh Allen, so I don't think we should go for another expensive player like that. Tight end we probably do need, but I don't think that we're going to find our replacement in free agency unless we go for Irv Smith. We could go for Irv Smith, change to Kansas City playbook, and Irv Smith would be a stud, but I don't know if I want to do that. It's possible. It's a possibility. I just don't know if I want to go that route. A.J. Jackson's available. We do need a left tackle, so we probably need to focus on this, unless we just draft a left tackle, but we could just sign one here. Patrick McCarry's available. Taylor Lewan. I'm going to sign Taylor Lewan for a season. We're going to get Taylor Lewan for a season, have him as a Band-Aid to fill out the left tackle spot for right now. Ezra Cleveland. I'm kind of intrigued by Ezra Cleveland. Who was that 23-year-old? Matt Gonclaves. Defensive line. We do need some defensive line help, but I don't think we're going to find anybody here. Ooh, Josh Uche. I always get Josh Uche, but he never really develops. Patrick Queen would be the only other guy that I would go for, and he probably would start right over the top of Bobby Wagner anyway. I'll offer Patrick Queen. I don't know if we're going to get him, but I'll send him an offer. Oh, actually, the Vikings and everybody else is lowballing him, so it looks like we might be able to get him. The only other guy that I'm interested in is Ezra Cleveland, so I might go and get him, or at least put an offer in on him. Ezra, we'll give you a 3-year deal. We'll give you 3.5 and 2. Okay, so we'll see how that is. 4 players we are negotiating with. All 4 have signed. Did all 4 sign with us? No, only 3 signed. We don't get Josh Allen. We do get Patrick Queen, though. So Patrick Queen, Taylor Lewan, and Ezra Cleveland sign with us, and Josh Allen goes to the Raiders. I feel like he always signs with the Raiders. I feel like he always signs with the Vegas Raiders. But we do get Patrick Queen, so that's at least a good linebacker. And I could probably turn him to an outside linebacker, and he'd be just fine. And then that way Bobby Wagner can still play a little bit. So if we go here, we do that. Taylor Lewan fits right there. Cosme moves to right guard, and the offensive line already looks a little bit better now. But we do need to look at the defense because we probably need to move Patrick Queen to right outside linebacker. And then he can play there. Nope, I don't want to restructure. I want to move you. And then Bobby Wagner can still play middle linebacker. And we're still going to look at linebacker in the draft. It's not just because we signed Patrick Queen doesn't mean we're not going to look at linebacker. But now at least we get to have all 3 of these guys play a little bit. Jatarius Martin is probably just going to start over Derek Forrest. That's probably just how it's going to be. And then Emmanuel Forbes has jumped to the number 1 corner. I'm fine with that. And the team already after year 1, or after 1 offseason, looks pretty good. And this is before the draft even, so we're starting to get there. You can see the foundations. You can see the foundations being built for a pretty good team. So let's get to the draft. I don't know what pick we have. Since we made it to the NFC divisional round, we're probably going to have a pick in the 20s. So we're not going to get like a stud, but we still should be able to come away with some pretty decent player if we do our scouting right. If we get the scouting correct, we should be able to come away with a solid athlete. I don't know what position. Probably a lineman, I would think. Maybe a linebacker. Depends on how the mock draft falls to us. So let's take a look at mock draft number 5. Number 1 pick is Jerez Tatum, right tackle. Then Gil Garrison. Philip Moore ends up being a top 5 corner. Very interesting. We pick at number 26. They have us taking a left tackle, Sebastian Cunningham. I like the name. Like the name. Is he good? He's not great. He's fine. I don't know if he's a first-round pick. He's probably a second-round pick if I had to guess. Jonathan Sinclair might be better than the guy that we're looking at. He's a little bit of a better athlete, slightly, but he's got better overall statistics, I think. So Sinclair might be the better option. Maybe we have to trade up one spot. I don't really know. Because it's not like we are desperate for a tackle, are we? Are we desperate for a tackle? I mean, we've got Wiley. He's a 78 overall. The guy that we draft is probably not going to be a 78 overall, so we're not desperate for a tackle. I am going to spend my staff points just so I don't forget. If you've never seen anybody do this before, if you've never seen me do this before, if you buy all this stuff out on the player personnel side of the tree, you go down the trading side, you buy all this out, it makes it a lot easier to swap first round picks 1 for 1. So you do that, and you're sitting in a good spot. All right, so we did all that. We had enough staff points to be able to do that. So now if I want to trade up one spot, it's going to be a lot easier. Okay, so let's figure this out. We're probably not going to be in the spot for him. I am going to use it on Sebastian Cunningham, just so we can learn a little bit more about him, kind of make our decision. And then I want to find the other guy. Did I already pass him? There he is, Jonathan Sinclair. That's the other guy that I was curious about. And then who else do I want to know about? Probably want to take a look at either tight end or linebacker. How's the tight end class look? Not great. A lot of possession guys. A lot of possession and blocking guys. There's no vertical threats at the top, which is a little concerning. Let's go to linebacker and see what we got here. So we got a couple round 1 talents. They could be something. Bob McLaughlin is a 6'5" speed rusher with great speed. Ooh, Bob don't look too bad whatsoever. Bob could be a guy for us. What about Sean Proctor? I think Bob's a little better. What about Jalen Allen, 6'4", out of Meat Chicken? No, doesn't look great. Dom Hankins. I think that Bob dude is the best one that I've seen so far. Cole Brown. Ooh, elite speed. Ooh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Cole Brown's a little bit better. Silas Freeman pass coverage also looks pretty good. Okay, so I think we got a couple guys right here. Cole Brown and Silas Freeman both look really good, but I think I want to know about this Bob dude. Bob McLaughlin, and then we'll go and get those other offensive linemen. So Jonathan Sinclair. What was the other guy's position? I think he was a left tackle, right? Yeah, there he is, Sebastian Cunningham. So those will be the 3 guys we use, but those 2, I need to put those on my board real quick, so we got to go find those guys. Cunningham will add to the board. Sinclair will add to the board, and then it was Bob McLaughlin, and then Cole Brown, Silas Freeman. Perfect. Okay, so those are the guys that I'm very intrigued by at the top of the class. Let's get to the next week. Maybe if Sinclair ends up being better, in my opinion, then I will do that one trade, because I think it's only one spot we have to trade up. So we'll take one more look at these guys. How good are they? So Sinclair ends up being a true round 2 to 3. Very interesting. Is Sebastian Cunningham end up being better, so we might not even have to make a trade up for him? Although Sebastian Cunningham could also be round 2 to 3. It's a possibility. And then we got Bob McLaughlin up to 90%. He does look very good. He looks very, very good. And then these two guys also look pretty good. So I don't really know what we're going to do here. I don't really know what we are going to do. We're going to find out, though. Let's start the draft. I'm not going to trade up. I'm going to leave it right where it is at pick 26. Because I think that Cunningham's better than the other guys. So the Patriots have the number 1 overall pick. They take a right tackle at number 1. God, he better be Orlando Pace and freaking Anthony Munoz and all the best offensive tackles ever to exist, all wrapped into one. If the Patriots are taking him number 1 overall, God, I'd be frustrated. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, let's just simulate to our pick. Sinclair does go, but I do think that Cunningham is better. And he's gone. Everybody's gone. McLaughlin's gone. Sinclair is gone. Cunningham is gone. Well, this puts me into a little bit of a pickle that I was not prepared for. Okay. Oops. I didn't think all of them would be gone. The mock draft had us mocked at him right at our spot. Like I didn't even have to move. This is a little bit concerning. I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. I mean, we could grab a receiver. Why did both of them go? I understand why McLaughlin went, but why did Cunningham go? Sebastian Cunningham. That's not what I expected whatsoever. That is not what I expected. We could trade down now that we don't have our guy. But all these trades aren't really giving me anything too great. I mean, the Jags are giving me a first and a second next year. That's not bad. Maybe we just pass on this draft as a whole and we go for next year. We write it out with next year. That could be a possibility. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're just gonna bounce on this draft. We'll take the first and the second and the fourth this year. We'll take the first and the second next year from the Jags. Just bounce on this draft as a whole, and just see what happens. I guess maybe one of our guys is available. Okay, both of them actually are available here. Who do I like better? Because certainly they're not both making it to round 3. So who do I like better? Do I like Cole Brown better, who has the elite speed, A play rec, A zone coverage, A tackling? Okay, I like Cole Brown a whole lot. I do like Cole Brown a whole lot. What about Silas Freeman? He only has the good speed, but he has elite acceleration, agility, and change of direction. He's also got A zone coverage, A pursuit. I like them both. I really do like them both, but I think Cole Brown's better. So we're going to go Cole Brown here. He does have a development trait, 86 speed, 89 acceleration. Okay. Now, do we try to trade into the second round again and get the other dude, Silas Freeman? Because I guarantee you he's not making it to round 3, pick 26. So maybe we try to trade with the Seahawks because they have 2 of these picks. So maybe we try to make a trade with the Seattle Seahawks for their pick and we get Silas Freeman too. The Seahawks pick 66 and 67. They have both of these picks. They want Jamin Davis. They want Jahan Dotson. You're not going to get those guys. Oh, but I can give you one of my 4th round picks this year. And I can give you a 3rd round pick in 2026. How's that? No, they don't like that. Okay. What about the 3rd round pick in 2026 plus a player? Who do I have that you don't, or that I don't want? I have Dante Fowler. I don't really want him. I have... don't really have a whole lot that you want, do you? How about Michael Davis? You want Michael Davis? Yeah, there we go. So they take Michael Davis in a 3rd round pick. We trade up to get... the other linebacker, Silas Freeman. And hopefully he doesn't end up being a bust. So welcome to the squad, Silas Freeman. He is no development. So we got the right guy in the beginning, but I couldn't take the risk and have them both get taken. I do think Silas Freeman's a very good player, and his stats prove that. And we didn't really give up that much to get up and get him anyway, so it's not a big deal that that he's normal development. Now, as far as a corner goes, because I just traded one away, so we probably do need to get one back in return. And this guy might be the best of the bunch, Jacoby Meredith. He doesn't look great, to be honest, but I don't think there's really a whole lot else that's good in the rest of this draft class. So we're gonna rock with Jacoby Meredith, 6-foot corner out of USC. Normal development, but 89 speed, 87 jumping, 80 in agility, and 94 acceleration. That's a solid speed guy. That's a good role-playing corner, and maybe if things go the right way, he could become something. You never know. And then I'll take a look at receivers. Are there any like super fast receivers left? There's a playmaker. There's a deep threat. Courtney Weary. He's got 4.2 or 4.5 speed. Jerry McMahon, not Jeremy. 4.3 speed. 4.4 speed, excuse me. Deep threat 5'10", Terrence White. Only good speed. He didn't go to the combine. Donaldson, Ricky Falk. Philip Poole, 4.3 speed. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let me look at this guy again. 4.3 speed, elite acceleration. We're taking him. 92 speed, 98 acceleration. Wow. Philip Poole, we might have found a little bit of a gem right there. That guy, he doesn't have a development trait, but he's pretty fast. He's got some good acceleration. And this will probably be my final pick that I make here. Maybe there's a tight end that we can find. This guy's a day 3 guy. It's David Jennings, blocking tight end with elite strength. He's got really good blocking, as you would expect. But you got Chris Dodson, 6'4" tight end, vertical threat, potentially undrafted. Let's grab him. And he's got a development trait. Okay, not what I expected. He's probably going to be a super low overall, but I didn't expect to take a guy that had potentially undrafted and have a development trait. So I'll grab it, and I'll take it. Boom. LeBron James. Weird draft. That was a weird draft, considering we lost out on pretty much all of our first-round options, which I didn't think we would. I thought if we stuck at 26, we'd be pretty much fine to take one of the offensive tackles. I knew that the Titans would take one of them, but I thought we'd be good. And Cole Brown ends up being a 75 overall. That's pretty solid. 72 for Silas Freeman, 68 for Meredith, 69 for Poole. Nice. Dotson's a 66, but he has the development trait. Then they took a couple lower 60 guys. Okay. Weird first draft. Certainly a weird first draft, but this draft was garbage anyway. 77's the highest overall. Yeah, this draft was not good. Sometimes that happens, though. Sometimes you get unlucky with the auto-generated draft classes. You get a bunch of BS. Bunch of suck. A bunch of suck. But we made the most out of it. We made the most out of it. Let's generate the best lineup. Offensive line looks okay. Tight end needs a little bit of work. I kind of want to just put that starting tight end, or that tight end that we drafted. I want to put him in there. Where's he at? There he is. Chris Dodson. Let's just have him be the #1 tight end. Why not? Why not? Maybe he can be something. Who knows? And then I also want Poole, Philip Poole. I want him to be our #4 receiver. You know what? I'm going to be #3 receiver. Then on the defense, we've got all the boys. At this point, we can move Patrick Queen back to middle linebacker and have Brown start, and that might be what I do. Let's just move Queen back to middle linebacker, and then have Cole Brown start at right outside, because that's a good idea, and we need him to play good. So we'll generate best lineup, bada bing, bada boom, and Cole Brown starts. Jamin Davis, yada, yada, yada. Meredith is going to be our 4th corner. Okay, team is looking good. Still needs a little bit of work, but the team is good. We won, what, 10 games last year? I think we won 10 games last year, so we're in a good spot. I'm going to simulate year #2. We'll see what happens with Jayden Daniels in his 2nd season as the quarterback of the Washington Commanders. We have wrapped up year #2 of Jayden Daniels' time in Washington, and he's progressing like crazy. Well, the team is as well. 13 wins from last year's 10 wins, and not only is 13 wins great, it's good enough for the #1 seed in the entirety of the NFC, plus the division win and a home playoff stretch, hopefully. at least a home playoff stretch, because hopefully we don't go home after one game, which is likely possible because we have to play the Philadelphia Eagles, who are also very, very good. Let's take a look at these stats. Let's take a look at how Jayden Daniels performed his second season. Ooh, these are good numbers. These are good numbers, Jayden. 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 73% completion percentage. He's very efficient with the football. Austin Eckler, 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels also had decent yards on the ground as well. And Brian Robinson, 12 touchdowns. A little bit of a vulture, you could say. 1,000 yards for Terry McLaurin, 14 touchdowns. Jay Crowder, 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. Okay, good numbers from the receivers. Patrick Queen took over the Bobby Wagner role and got 137 tackles. Awesome. Jamie Davis had 120. Martin had 96. Jeremy Chin had 73. 73 also for Benjamin St-Juste. Deron Payne, 16 tackles for loss. Jonathan Allen, 13. 11 for Armstrong. 6 for Queen. 7.5 sacks for Deron Payne. Wow, not what I expected him to be the leader, but okay. 6.5 for Jonathan Allen and Dorrance Armstrong, who's been really surprisingly good. Cleveland Farrell's been 2 sacks, 1 for a couple other guys. Interception leader is Patrick Queen and Jeremy Chin, both with 3. 2 for Jamin Davis and Emmanuel Forbes, and 1 for a couple others. That is what the roster and the stats look like for season number 2. But the most important part is, are we going to move on to the NFC title game with Jayden Daniels? It's very tough. I doubt this is going to be a win. But it is, oh my God, it's a point. It's a one singular point victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. Jayden Daniels is him. 1 point. 36-35. And the Philadelphia Eagles fall to the Commanders. Jayden Daniels is playing in his first ever NFC title game in year number 2. We are obviously going to jump in and try to help the team go to the Super Bowl. It would be awesome. I would love it if we'd be done after 2 seasons. That'd be great. But we got to get past the Niners, who are very, very tough. Here we go, NFC title game. Niners and Commanders. Luckily, since we're the 1 seed, we get the home field advantage, so we don't have to go down to the Field of Genes. But it's 7-7. Come on, Jayden. I need you to dominate. 10-7. No, the Niners might be too good. 14-10. Come on, end of the half. Get a touchdown. There it is, 17-14. You love to see it. Can we get a stop here? We allow a field goal. No, they got the ball back. They score a touchdown. Come on, Jayden. Get the job done, Jayden. 24-24. Field goal? Field goal? No, that's not good, Jayden. That's not good. I think it might be over right here, ladies and gentlemen. I think it might be over right here, and it is. 31-24. The San Francisco 49ers beat the Washington Commanders. They were just too tough. To be fair, we probably weren't ready for a championship just yet, but I would have taken it, obviously. That's a little unfortunate. That is a little bit unfortunate. We could not get the job done. The Niners were just too tough. Even though we had 2 more wins than them during the regular season, they were just too darn difficult for the good guys. So now it's the Chiefs and Niners. Wow, real original. Who's going to get it done? The Chiefs, probably. I would guess it's the Chiefs. And it's the Niners. So we lose to the eventual Super Bowl champion 49ers. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We go to season 3. Season recap, though. Brock Purdy wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Mahomes wins MVP of the league. D'Amico Ryans Coach of the Year. Saquon and Max Crosby are the Players of the Year. Kyler Alexander, quarterback for the Raiders, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Dwayne Bass, strong safety for the Cardinals, is the Defensive Rookie of das Year. Okay. Let's get to re-signing. I don't think there's many that I have to re-sign. I think we're pretty good. At least I hope we're pretty good. I don't actually know. Let's take a look at it. Players that are ready to negotiate. We have $31 million. We'll accept the 5th-year option on Jahan Dotson. Derek Forrest, we're probably just going to let go because we have Jartavius Martin, who starts anyway. So might as well just have him. Why spend money on a backup? Diami Brown. Taylor Lewan we had here for a season. I'll extend him for another season. I'll give him 1 more season just because I don't know what the plan is at left tackle, so might as well have him here just in case. If anything, he's here as a backup plan. But do we get any development trade upgrades? That's going to be really big. No. Why is Jayden Daniels staying at star development? I think Caleb Williams also stayed at star development. The quarterbacks are not developing like I want them to. Obviously, we could switch to Kansas City playbook. They'd probably develop, but we're looking pretty solid right now. Do I need to switch to... Okay, generate the best lineup. We have... Oh, Cole Brown. Superstar development. Jartavius Martin, superstar development. So we do have a little bit of change on the defensive side of things. Did I draft Cole Brown as superstar development, or did he go up? Progression history. I think he just went up. The drafting god has returned, ladies and gentlemen. Cole Brown is a superstar development player. That makes me a lot happier. Oh, and Patrick Queen, I didn't even realize. It didn't register for me. Patrick Queen is superstar development as well. So we're looking really good on the defense. We probably need to bring in one more corner in the draft, or maybe in free agency. And we probably need to bring in somebody else on this offense. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe a receiver, maybe a tight end, maybe an offensive lineman. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're just missing something. Tua is at the #1 player in free agency. Dre Greenlaw, we don't need an outside linebacker anymore. Wyatt Teller. Man, there's some good players in this class. Wow. I like Demondre. Is that how you say his name? Demondre? Demodor? I don't know how to say his name. I like Lenore. We're going to call him Lenore. I like him. And I also like the Wyatt Teller deal. So I'm going to offer both of these guys. This will be most of my money. Pretty much all of my money. But we'll see. I don't even know if I'll be able to get Wyatt Teller if I offer Lenore. Where does that put us with Lenore? That puts us right behind the Rams. Okay. Good to know. Good to know that we're going to have to offer even more money. So we'll go for probably 10 million? 10 million each. Hopefully that puts us above the Rams. How's that? Does that give us a little bit of a better advantage? I don't know what the Rams are offering him. I'm going to keep it at that because I can't really go any higher than that. And I don't think I can offer... Yeah, I can't offer Wyatt Teller anymore. I'm probably just going to be able to offer Lenore. That's probably all I can do. So let's advance. And he didn't choose us. That sucks. So we're not going to come away with anybody in this free agency. I mean, we could probably still sign a couple people, but I'd rather just keep the money that we have. If I would have had a little bit more money, I could have gotten Lenore. I don't know what the Rams were offering him, but they were obviously offering him something crazy that I just couldn't pay. Maybe I could have withdrawn and offered a little bit more. But it's probably for the best that I didn't get him. Because who knows what kind of contracts we're going to need to re-sign next year. And we need to have as much available cap room as possible. Because I don't know if Terry McLaurin's contract's going to come up. I don't know if who else's contract? Jonathan Allen. I don't know when these big money contracts are going to be coming up. So I don't want to have to lose out on those guys. All right, mock draft number 5. We do have 2 first-round picks, remember. I forget who the team is that we traded with, but they gave us the number 12 overall pick because that's not us. Our pick is number 30. But whoever we traded with, who was it? Was it the Giants? The Jets? No, it wasn't the Giants. They had the 6th pick. Who did I trade with? I guess I could just look in the main, the roster screen, but I can't remember exactly who I traded with. But they gave us a top 15 pick, which is not to be sneezed at. Do I need to use that top 15 pick to trade into the top 5? Is there anybody that's super crazy? I honestly don't think there is. There might be somebody. I mean, I like this guy, Skylar Cousins. If we draft him, Skylar Cousins, we can send Cole to the defensive line. That could be something we do. Maybe we send Cole to the defensive line, and then the defense is looking pretty good then after that. So that might be what we do here. I'm going to finish up Sean Hatchett. I'm also going to use Terrell Boone, probably. And then I'm going to go to tight end, or maybe receiver. Ooh, daddy. Anthony Barnett, 6'5" with good speed. Okay, I'm tickled in the pickle area. Yes, please. Sean Hatchett. And forget about that other corner, because I saw a tight end that I liked. Where's he at? Here he is. Dan Weiss. We'll go for those guys. Those will be all of the players that we go for. I need to look at the mock draft just to make sure that we don't have to trade up again. But I will try to trade into the top 5 here, especially at 5, because I think the Falcons had number 5. So number 12, can I get number 10, or do I have to go 1 by 1? I guess we'll find out here. Number 10 is held by the Raiders. Do they accept it? They do. Thank you very much. You make my life a lot easier. I appreciate that. Let's get to the next one. Number 8. They should accept this. Hopefully. Who has number 8? Number 8 is the Steelers. There we go. Steelers have number 8. They accept it. Now we can go to 6, and then we can go right to 5. And it's pretty simple. It's as simple as that. So we draft number 8. We grab number 6 from some team, whoever has it. It is the Giants. There we go. Giants have number 6. They give me the pick. Thank you very much. And then we swap 6 and 5, and we take Cousins with the 5th overall pick. And I'm sitting pretty happy. There we go. And then we do a little bit, not that. We do a little bit of, who had it? It was the Falcons, right? There we go. Swap 6 and 5. Boom. Done. Number 5 overall pick is acquired. Now I need to go to the mock draft and see who else is available. Was there any of those other guys that I just looked at in the first round? Sean Hatchett's in the first round at pick number 20. But other than him, nobody else is in the first round. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. I think I've got a plan. I hope this draft is good. I have no idea if this draft is going to be good or not. It could be another bust like the first draft was. But let's just figure out our game plan here. So corner, I'm going to put Hatchett on there. I'm almost going to put Boone on there just because. And then we're going to find Skylar Cousins. We're going to put him on there. We're going to find the other guys that I was interested in. I think they were all offensive. There's a couple good centers here. Okay, we'll keep an eye on those guys as we go down the board a little bit. There's Weiss. Is he good? Dan Weiss. He's pretty decent. He's probably a good enough tight end. So we'll add him to our board. And then, how good did Anthony Barnett look? 6'5". I mean, he looks really good, actually. And I don't remember seeing him on the first round mock draft. So we'll see what happens. Running backs, no. Quarterbacks, no. Okay, so I've got all the guys that I'm interested in on my freaking thing. We'll see if this draft goes better than last year's draft. Start drafting. Pick number 5. Vikings have the number 1 overall pick. They take Kai Wilkinson, then Travis Cooper, then Alex Groves, then David Hall. We will take Skylar Cousins, and we will then move Cole to the defensive line, and we'll be good to go. Boom. Skylar Cousins, welcome to the squad. 91 speed, 91 excel, 6'4" out of West Virginia. Bada bing, bada boom. And we still have pick number 30. So we're looking pretty tasty, pretty sexy. So far, everything's going to plan. Nobody that I was interested in is getting taken. Walt Aiken. Okay, we're looking good still. We're into the... Yeah, oh, there goes Anthony Bennett. I must have missed his name. But we're still looking pretty good. We're into the 20s now. Sean Hatchett goes. We knew he was going to go. That's okay. I could have traded up to get him, but that's all right. Oop, I didn't mean to hit that button. Sucks that Anthony Barnett went. That's okay. There goes Denzel Bowers. We knew he was going to go. Wolf, DeAndre Blake, coming up on our pick now. Okay, we make it to pick 30, and we only lost out on, I think, 2 guys. That's not too bad. We've got Boone and we've got Weiss as the last 2 guys on our board. Is Terrell Boone good enough to get taken? Probably. Let's take him. Only normal development, 91 speed, 94 acceleration. He's a very good athlete, just like the last corner we took. I think that's a solid pickup. Solid pickup in the back half of the first round. Then we go to pick 12 of the second round, and we go back to our board because Dan Weiss is still available. He's probably our guy, so let's grab him. Head development. Good. We're hitting on our picks. This year we're actually hitting on our picks. And then we've got pick 30 of the second round. And this is where we're going to look offensive line. This is where we're going to look at offensive line. So not left tackle, but there are a couple left guards and a couple centers. So maybe we go center here. Hugh Hart, elite. Oh, he's a really good athlete. Okay, Hugh Hart might be my guy. But what about Marcus Hodges? Marcus Hodges, not the best athlete. I think I'm going to go with Hugh Hart out of LSU. Boom, hidden development, 86 strength, 86 acceleration. We can move him around the offensive line, except for probably tackle. He could probably play all the other guard spots and stuff. So let's get to 30th pick of the third round. We'll probably look at offensive line or receiver here. Okay, so we got Marcus McKee, who's a round 1 talent. Hey, but he's fallen, so he can't be that good. Then you've got Mark Groves, who's also a round 1 to 2 talent, and he's also fallen. How about Garrison Talley? 5'9" deep threat, 4.4 speed. I took a guy last year on pure speed alone and didn't really work out too well for me. He's still a solid player, but he's nothing spectacular. I don't think the receivers are amazing right now. The left guards kind of fell off the wayside. The centers are all gone. I think we have to probably take a receiver here. Let's go for... Do we just go for the guy that's fast and hope we get another super fast guy? Or do you go for a tall guy like one of these two? Mark Groves and Marcus McKee are both fast. Or are both tall, but Talley's fast. So maybe we go for something different. We already have a fast guy in Philip Poole, I think his name was. Let's go for Mark Groves. Normal development. He's also decently fast. 90 speed, 87 acceleration. But he's 6'3". That's something we don't really have a whole lot of. So that's fine by me. We'll end the draft there. Let the rest of let the CPU handle the rest of the picks. That was a much better draft in terms of getting guys that I actually wanted than last year's draft. And considering we were in the NFC title game this past year, I think we are in a good spot. So we got a 79 overall in Skylar Cousins, a 77 in Terrell Boone, a 73 in Weiss, 73 in Hart, 72 in Groves, 71 in Weathersby. Lindsey Weathersby from Air Force. Okay. Cool. Coolio. Best player in the class was a 79 overall. Skylar Cousins, we took the best player in the class. This class was also garbage. Back-to-back auto-generated classes where they're not good at all. But if we were going to have a bad class, I'm glad we got the best player out of that class. And he was the best player by far. 2 overall difference. Best player by far in the second class. So I'm liking where we're sitting right now. We're going to adjust the lineup, make sure everything is where we need it to be. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to have Weiss start over Sinat. I don't know, who cares. Offensive line looks good. Offense in general looks pretty decent. Groves is going to be our number 3 corner or wide receiver with McCaffrey. Then we got defensive. We are going to make Cole Brown a right outside or a right end, so that he's going to start over Cleveland Farrell probably. So we do a little bit of this. Save the changes. Then he will start over Cleveland. And then we move Queen back to right outside linebacker. And then Skylar Cousins starts at middle linebacker. And we're looking pretty sexy. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. Team looks a lot better now. 3 good corners. Good defensive line. Good safeties. Good offense. This could be our year. Year 3 could be our year. We made the NFC title game last year. I mean, obviously it could be our year. So I'm going to simulate year number 3. We'll see how Jayden Daniels does. Hopefully he keeps progressing. And I'll catch you guys at the end of the season. We wrap up year number 3 with a 13-4 record. Another 1 seed with Jayden Daniels. It looks like Jayden Daniels is going to be a better quarterback than Caleb Williams in terms of Madden. Basically, because we haven't heard a single thing about Caleb Williams, but Jayden Daniels has been very, very good. Let's take a look at these stats, though. Let's take a look at these stats. Oh, he had another oh my God, he had a fantastic season. 3,900 yards, 34 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 71% completion percentage. These could be MVP numbers, but probably not. But these are in the conversation. Like the talking heads, like Stephen A. Smith and Dan Orlovsky on First Take. They're talking about Jayden Daniels during the season being an MVP candidate. That's how good of numbers he's had right here. 1,300 yards and 5 touchdowns for Austin Eckler. Brian Robinson Jr. is the definition of a vulture. 15 touchdowns? Are you kidding me? Two 1,000-yard receivers. Terry McLaurin's contract did come up during the simulation when I was doing Week 11 stuff, so I just re-signed him. It was a very expensive contract, but he's back, so don't worry about that. Jahan Dotson also had 1,000 yards. 13 touchdowns for Terry as well is pretty good. Love to see that. And then defensively, 120 tackles from Jamin Davis, 96 from Patrick Queen, 73 for Chin, 18 tackles for loss for Dorrance Armstrong, 16 for Allen, 13 for Payne, 8.5 for Allen, sack-wise, 7.5 for Cole Brown. Moved down to defensive line, looks pretty good. 5.5 for Deron Payne, 5 for Armstrong. Interception leader is Jeremy Chin with 4, and then a couple guys had 1. Okay. So now we move to the playoffs. We take on the Giants, division rival. We got to get back to the NFC title game. Give me a W here. 38-28, we are back. This time we're not playing the Niners. We are playing the Packers. I think we've got a better shot of beating the Packers than we do the Niners. So hopefully we can get this one done and go to the Super Bowl and complete this rebuild. It is NFC title game. Packers and Commanders. We're already down 7-0. Not a good start, but we tied up 7-7. Come on, defense. 14-7. Jayden Daniels. Deliver, Jayden. Deliver. Only a field goal. That's okay. That is okay because we put up a touchdown 17-14. I want to build a lead. Come on, build a lead for me, please. There it is, 24-14. It's not the lead I like, but it's good enough. 24-21, Packers score. We score again, but the Packers score immediately. I don't know what happened there. And we score 38-28. We have the ball again somehow. Packers must be choking away the turnovers like crazy. And we move on to the Super Bowl. 35-45, I think is the final score, right? Yeah, 45-35, we win. Jordan Love played his heart out, but I think there was a couple turnovers there at the last second. You saw like some quick changes on possession. I think there was some turnovers from the Packers that gave us the ball in great positioning, and they gave us the victory. And Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders will play in the Super Bowl here in year number 3. I'm glad it's finally here. Finally. Now all we got to do is win it, and we can call this a successful rebuild. But we're taking on the 16-1 Ravens. You got to be kidding me. Oh, this is going to be so difficult. It would be an absolute miracle if we pull this out. I hope we can. Anything can happen when you get on the field. But this is going to be so difficult. The Ravens are looking for revenge. They lost one earlier in the video. Oh, my God. This is going to be crazy. Boy, do we have a tough matchup ahead of us here. Ravens 16-1 on the season. It's going to be so difficult to win this game, but I think we can do it. At least I hope we can do it. I don't actually know if we can. I might have to jump in here and get a little gameplay, get a little action with Jayden Daniels. 13-0. We've got the screen set up. How does Jayden Daniels get this to go? It's going to work a little bit. Throw me a block. Throw me a little bit of a block. I tried. We got to the 43-yard line. That'll be good enough, I guess. That'll be good enough. But we got to let this ride a little bit. Play action. Terry McLaurin, we just extended his contract. So he's feeling good. And I think he won the battle. Terry McLaurin, he did! Down the sidelines, Terry McLaurin will score. That's a good ball from Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels had a good ball, and McLaurin took it all the way to the house. So if we can have good defensive possessions and kick a field goal, 10-13, I'll take that. It's a 3rd and 6. We'll go with a vertical route, although this might not be a good option. This might have to be a check down to Austin Eckler or a scramble of some sort. Yeah, get that ball away. Yikes. Yikes. And unfortunately, that's going to be bad. We're going to have to take our points here, especially against a 16-win Ravens team. Certainly take our points there. Lamar's driving. Lamar kicks a field goal. Well, he doesn't kick the field goal, but he gets his team in field goal range to kick the field goal, and they make it. Down by 3, 4th quarter. Go to the young rookie. It's Weiss. Huge catch. Huge catch. And now we're in the red zone at the 10. Come on, boys. This will be our first lead of the game, I'm pretty sure, right? Or did we have one a little earlier? I can't remember exactly. Austin Eckler cuts it back inside. Austin fights forward. He's down at the 1. Great run from Austin Eckler, the veteran, playing in his first Super Bowl. the veteran with a great run. We hand this off to him one more time. Eckler falls forward. He's down at the 1 again. Oh, that was pretty tricky. That was pretty tricky. I wasn't sure if he's going to get that or not, and he ends up not getting it. So, do we go back to the run again? I think we give it to him one more time here. From the 1-yard line, Austin Eckler, deliver that in... He lost a yard on that one. He lost a yard on it. I think this has got to be... I think this has got to be a pass. If we give Terry an out route, does that work? Oh, Sinat, he caught it! Touchdown! Diving touchdown! Diving catch! And it worked. Jayden Daniels might have just gotten us the victory. He might have just gotten us the victory. Oh, we got the ball back. Hold on. The Ravens must have choked something away. Because we have the ball late in the 4th quarter. We scored another one. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The Commanders just won the freaking Super Bowl. We upset a 16-win Ravens team. What? We upset a 16-win Baltimore Raven team to win the Super Bowl and complete the rebuild. Wow. Jayden Daniels. The dynasty has been formed. This is a dynasty-level team. You got a young rookie quarterback still on his rookie deal. You just extended Terry McLaurin. We talked about that earlier. I extended Jonathan Allen as well, so he's back. You've got a lot of draft capital. You're in a really good spot. This is a dynasty that we just built here in Washington. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Lamar Jackson didn't throw a touchdown in that game. We just upset a 16-win. Technically, they're an 18-win team because they won the 2 playoff games to get there. So we upset an 18-win Baltimore Raven football team to win a championship and complete this rebuild. Wow. I really did not think we were going to win that game. I really did not think that was going to happen, but it did. It certainly did. Season recap. Jayden Daniels gets MVP of the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson gets both MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year. John Harbaugh gets Coach of the Year. So the Ravens just dominated, but we beat them when it counted. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Ladarius Carney, who we took a look at in the draft, he's a wide receiver for the Browns. He got Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Sean Hatchett, another guy that we took a look at, he's a cornerback for the Cardinals. I think he went top 5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Top 8, maybe? Whatever. He's Defensive Rookie of the Year. So those are your numbers and your award winners. To wrap up the video, let's go to the Adjust the Lineups, and let's take a look at this championship team. Jayden Daniels, superstar development, 85 overall. We are looking good. We are looking good. Good. Weiss has star development now. The rest of the team looks good. We're in a really good spot with our contracts. Skylar Cousins has X Factor. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did this happen, or did you just naturally have X Factor? Because if not, then I'm a drafting god. And I think you had X Factor right off the bat. Skylar Cousins, the drafting god. I'm undefeated. You can't. There's nobody that drafts better than me. There's nobody. I'm too good. Emmanuel Forbes also has superstar, by the way. I mean, the big brain play, to move Brown to the defensive line, that was an expert move. Skylar Cousins has X Factor right off the bat. I mean, are you kidding me? This team is fantastic. This team is absolutely amazing. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Cole Brown was a great pickup, too, in a draft class that just wasn't that great to start out with, but he's a great player. Very, very good. And then, obviously, let's take another look at Skylar Cousins because this man is phenomenal. He is phenomenal. I mean, look, he's got great speed. He's got great pursuit. He's just a fantastic middle linebacker. What a stud. What an absolute freaking stud. And then, obviously, the man of the hour, the man this whole rebuild was made for, Jayden Daniels, Super Bowl quarterback in just his 3rd season. He's still on his rookie deal. You've got a cheap contract on him. You've got your main guys re-signed. Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Allen, Austin Eckler got re-signed. I think Jahan Dotson might need a contract coming up pretty soon, but for the most part, you need to work on the offensive line slightly. Hugh Hart, by the way, has superstar development. Drafting God. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm a drafting God. But you need to maybe draft 2 tackles because Wiley and Taylor Lewan probably aren't the guaranteed tackles. But you've got your center of the future. You've got your left guard of the future. You've got your right guard of the future. Tackles, you draft them, you're good. Offense line's completed. This team is really good. I like this team. And obviously, we won a championship. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. In the future, we will be taking on the New England Patriots with Drake May, the Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, the Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix Jr., and the Denver Broncos with Bosif Nix. So I hope you guys stay around for those videos and obviously all the other videos on the channel. If you enjoyed this one, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much. Stop by and watch. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.